Hi, everybody. Michael Fisk with Tri-State Live on Facebook. Um, Today is March the 4th, 2022. It's crazy that it's March already. Just getting dialed up here. We'll give everybody a few seconds to get logged on. Um, Takes me a second to figure out what I'm doing so I can see comments and questions and stuff. Safety message once again: if you're driving, please don't watch this. We'll record it and store it here on Facebook and YouTube like we normally do. But for those of you that are getting logged on, yeah, feel free to send in any messages, any questions, comments, that kind of stuff, and we'll just give everybody a few seconds here to get logged on. Um, I don't know why I seem to struggle with this every time I do it, but I think I've got everything set up, properly. And I see people jumping on here, so we'll give it just a second here. And I need another haircut, as you guys can see. Turn my phone off here. Jack McFadden, how you doing? Gary, Indiana. Jack, I thought you lived in North Carolina or something. Well, we'll go ahead and get started. We don't have a lot of people on here, but that's okay. We'll jump in anyway. I don't have a lot, just a few things. One, there was a conversation just today with HR about mask requirements in the office, and there's going to be a messaging come out from HR here pretty soon. I would either today or tomorrow, where we're going to be, as other states and CDC, are becoming more lenient on masks. We're eager to do that as well. So, in the coming, like I said, next day or maybe Monday, I would expect that our mask requirements, will be eased as well. Garrett Ruth, hi. Lucian, hi. Um, the 401k is open enrollment right now. For those of you who are in 401k, you certainly can adjust your contributions and everything to that right now. For those of you who are not in 401k, it is open enrollment period now, and you can go in and participate. I'd strongly encourage you, to participate in the 401k program. It's one of the better ones you're going to find anywhere with any employer, any industry. And essentially, what it does is it matches your contribution. Essentially, you put in 5%, it matches up to 4%. So for every $100 you put in, it matches 80 dollars, basically every single week on a week to week basis. And so you're essentially getting a massive return immediately, which obviously is difficult to do in the stock market. So um, but the 401k is available now to everybody, including our drivers, and I encourage you to participate in that. Those drivers that have been with us, now that I'm thinking about it, since Dasky, and have Dasky stock options. If you have any questions about your vesting, on that, feel free to call in on that too. I don't know where that status is, but I was just thinking about that, there. So 401k, for retirement planning, if you're interested in it, call HR, and they'll get you rock and rolling on that. Safety. I just want to mention this. We've had a couple of issues in the last couple of weeks. I mean, but there's still bad weather. We're, early March, and so spring is coming and warmer weather. But there are still bad weather in different parts of the country, and I'm seeing a couple of incidents that we had where we're really going too fast for conditions. I mean, it's snow covered roads, completely snow covered roads, and still going 60 miles per hour type of thing. And I get it if the speed limit's 75 or whatever, but just we understand just because the speed limit says 75, that doesn't mean that that's the safe speed. Even 60 or whatever there. So just be aware of that. I mean, it's obviously it creates career challenges, for you if you get into an issue, but the safety of others and the safety of the public and the company as well. Um, the I want to update with you guys again that the Roadmaster Group has officially acquired a company in the Northeast that it's just going to provide more opportunities for all of us, as we grow, some opportunities for drivers to have parking and shop access in New Jersey, actually, and it's not Newark, it's down south, southern New Jersey, and very rural area, type of thing. We'll get more information out about that in the coming days and weeks. But there's a lot of really good things and really cool things going on with us. So if you have any questions or comments about anything that you're hearing or whatever, don't let rumors just get out of control. I mean, send me a message, reach out to me, and I'll tell you what's going on, and anything that we need to share, then we will. I got a couple of messages actually from the last time I did this Facebook Live. We're talking about driver interactions, and I had shared an experience where a driver for a different company had called and he said had maybe not a great experience with one of our drivers at Love's in Joplin, Missouri. We had a couple of drivers, call in and share that, it's they've got some friends and they've got some, good experiences, but they've also had some, times where they felt like that they were kind of ostracized or ignored in social, gatherings, that kind of stuff. So once again, I just kind of, put it out there. Let's take care of each other. Listen, we can all be shy, we can all be bashful, but if I encourage you to reach out and to embrace your coworkers and others out there. So hello, Tom and Donna, Elizabeth. Fuel surcharges, we're looking at that. I mean, fuel surcharges isn't something that we control, Elizabeth. That's something that that's worked through with the customers, but we are very cognizant of fuel increases and how that affects everything, in particular owner operators, and so forth. And so we are looking at that, and and we're certainly aware of the coming challenges that fuel is going to be, and then we work with our customers on fuel surcharges and so forth. So that's a good question, Elizabeth, and we're very mindful and cognizant of it, and we'll have some other information to you on that. That's really all that I have. I mean, it's I'll kill a couple of seconds here if somebody wants to throw another quick question out or anything like that. But in the meantime, the weather is getting warmer. Appreciate all of you. I mean, the company's doing great. We're and that's built on the miles and the wheels that you guys turn, and we're appreciative of you. Again, Roadmaster Group and Tri-State. There's a lot of really cool things going on, and we're eager to share those things with you as they come up. So Charlotte, driver council. Yeah, we're due for driver council. There's a lot of things that we're working on right now, but let me get working on the next driver council there. Richard Worley, howdy from Crane. Yeah, there. So anyway, again, we appreciate all of you. Have a great weekend, and send a message to me directly if there's something you guys want to talk about. In these, when there's not a lot to cover, that generally means things are good. But again, we just want to make sure we're accessible and available to each of you. Thank you so much for all of you. Thank you.